मॉर्निंग। दिस इज इंजीनियर सूरज सिंह स्पीकिंग फ्रॉम भारत इंडिया। मैं सूरज सिंह सिविल इंजीनियर भारत में से बोल रहा हूँ। आज दिनांक 15 16 दिसंबर 2023। टुडे इज 16 दिसंबर 2023 एंड टाइम मॉर्निंग टाइम अबाउट क्वार्टर टू 11। आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक टू यू अबाउट पावर ऑफ सॉल। मैं आपसे बात करना चाहता हूँ आत्मा की शक्ति के बारे में। मैंने पहले भी बात की थी लेकिन वो वीडियो सही चला नहीं, तो वो वर्ड्स की फाइल में दिखा नहीं पाया आपको। आई फेल टू शो यू वर्ड्स फाइल शेयर विद वर्ड फाइल। आई एम गोइंग टू ट्राई टू इट अगेन. Let me do it again for you. Let me select first of all screen share screens, and here is what I'm sharing screens, and there are certain files I'm going to select for you now. And this is here. First of all, this is my live truth number data. There is one file, and I'm selecting other one here, and this is here as well. And these three files I'm selecting for you and trying to share them. So sharing these files means I have this file which I am showing to you is words file first of all, and this is power of solve. And this file is shown is in share. And let me see, share stop in this share. Screen share is here, and this file is here. It is really very significant one. You can see I'm just trying to read for you so that you can read. Maybe you cannot see it fully, so no problem. I'm explaining to you. I'm reading for you. Yes, this is here is power of solve. It's really very significant to understand about what is power of solve. It's very significant to understand about what is power of solve. It cannot just be taken for casually granted that it could be just either a phrase or a term. Explanation cannot be charted out to comply with some available provisions or formula, because power of solve cannot be confined to mundane world, or one can say that this power is spread all over areas of universes. No imagination can go beyond such power or energy. When one understands this power, such powerful conception can change mindset completely, permitting person to move unlimited or massively without considering about whether or not materials would be gained. One must keep in mind that from mundane world, earth, not, or you can say earth, mundane world is same as earth, I can say, nothing can go with person when person departs or demobilizes from earth to unknown permanent destination, which we do not know now, which place can be named real house for soul. One may one may have ownership of trillions or whatever sum on earth, mundane world. All material wealth shall have to be left here, including housing in which soul stays or stayed for living period of soul within mundane body. Then why should one worry about collection of mundane wealth? Can one contemplate on this issue? That is major question. I'll speak in other language Hindi also. Let me read it for so that concentration is not broken, is not disturbed. If one cannot develop energy in existing soul, one can really do nothing in life, but one can live only for sake of survival. No one lives on earth just to please others or to please society or to compete among all other members of society. In fact, such competition remains always a myth, because that competition has gotten nothing to do at place of permanent residence of soul, and that is God's kingdom. Whatever one does on earth for self and relative as a close one, nothing shall go with one. If one does for soul, then one has gotten with it, that shall or for sure would go with persons. In fact, while remaining on earth, mundane world, person fails to realize about what should be destiny for person. Whereas person is dipped by surrounding circumstances, which all conditions divert persons from real facts and takes person to work only for self and mundane relatives, rather than worrying about person's loss, being supreme power, who mobilize person, soul to earth or mundane world. Person's charter is lost somewhere which was known to person prior to entering or being mobilized into mundane world. But person never tries even to recall. that forgotten job description or requirement of person's soul of deputation to earth. Power of soul can be understood by person who thinks a lot sincerely and applies those thoughts what is thought of. Whether contemplation may be right or it may not be right, which state would be responded by result of work application. But work, even if goes wrong or say incorrect, it shall act as teacher for person or can be called lesson learned from errors or mistakes. It's true that soul cannot be seen and can also not be checked for its contained potential or working or energy that can be applied. Soul is something ex mundane by applicable exclusively, but applicable exclusively or inclusively, both. It's something different. I'm saying exclusively and inclusively, both. Soul has no defined capacity in a person's mind and thereby within all other parts of body. It can be recalled and received as and when required without encountering any problem and also without making any payment to vendor supreme power of this commodity. But person while staying on journey within mundane planet or earth cannot understand easily included within value within soul and its structure. Nature is always very kind or courteous with every creature which it designed and manufactured or produced in unlimited numbers. Nature means the here in all aspects, and not just physical nature, by all entities of God designed and built nature. Person itself is an entity. Person itself is an entity produced by nature, which means which must realize fact that every person in reality is a machine operated by immense power of soul. Person or considering just human person who is nothing less than a blind in its turnkey position without applying any further work on this, accepting, maintaining its capacity by food and water, fuel at defined or at necessary variable frequency. Every person has been mobilized to Earth, mundane planet by superpower, not because person entity just stay on Earth, and then demobilized just for sake of staying. Person should be considered given an employment by superpower to work on some description that must have been allotted for incumbent individual certain work must have been allotted for helping world improve in short and long run. If there remains no work for someone, this means deployment from that world has gotten no meaning. It is true that superworld does not send anyone without defining any destination, though it is understood that destination is to be achieved by individual, but I do not accept this concept because there is nothing for any individual on this planet. Even body house in which person lives does not belong to person primarily, whereas its use for person remains significant for whole life on or earth stay in good living condition. No one can stay on earth mundane planet without having designed and delivered on earth biological plant known as living body, which for sure cannot be taken back to other world, but it is always disposed of by whatever method. Every person is free to work on this planet and to add power to the existing minimum potential of soul, which is certainly required essentially for sake of living, at least. But superpower never ever stops or prevents anyone from conducting process of augmentation of this power of soul. This power is so strong and efficient in its functioning, that no obstacle can come on its way, but its performance takes its power, strength further intensified. Person has got many numbers of parts in this body housing, number of parts, I'm sorry, it is missing, number of parts in this body housing. These parts have related significance to mind room, while every part has been designed for direct as well as indirect functioning with mind. Body is very complex plant field which cannot be explicitly understood. The body is very complex plant field which cannot be explicitly understood comprehensively in details. Whole plant has been wrapped carefully into complete functioning mode. Whole plant has been wrapped carefully into complete functioning mode in such a coordinated way that there can be possibility of at no moment that all parts do not work, or could be for either one does not work. Each part has obtained each part has obtained its own significance to whatever role and job it has to perform, along with whole plant throughout entire span of bodies working in form of plant. It's problem, yes, no problem, no problem. Person must take advantage of such a beautiful, strong, continuously perform. Sorry, gentlemen. Uh, uh, I'm sorry. I read it in this line is para. Whole plant has been wrapped carefully into complete functioning mode in such a coordinated way that there can be possibility of at no moment that all parts do not work or could be either one does not work. Each part has obtained its own significance to whatever role or job it has to perform, along with whole plant throughout entire span of body working in form of plant. Person must take advantage of such a beautiful, strong, continuously performing, durable and reliable machine or equipment which no profession in mundane life can provide with. During entire lifespan, person does not understand value of such equipment because once one has gotten something without any effort, that something is not considered valuable by person. But when it does not exist, unfortunately and unknowingly, person remains in false world that some power would come to him or her by itself and bring good faith to person automatically per superpower's wish. Person forgets that superpower does not believe in self-success without making any effort. Even that superpower is required to work for reaching whatever achievement. On what basis? Then person believes that by virtue of itself and by luck, success would be achieved. Power of soul is factual energy that can motivate person to start, move, and keep rapidly running on way leading to set goals. If one does as such, there remains no other way to achieve success, or during moment on way, many more ways shall be discovered by application of interest and use of mind. As has been said earlier, that no size or dimension can be worked out or measurement taken from power of soul, which soul remains at one time in its own adopted units, because performance by person based on quantum of power of soul energy, whatever in quantity is necessary to be taken off, person shall be successful in extracting that quantity from mind store or chamber. Fluctuations may occur in current use of power of soul depending upon requirement, but necessary quantity would always be available if person so requires. It is stressed again that there exists no such upper limit which person may not use beyond. Reference cannot be given to just a size of head or tolerance or no tolerance by person. But person's mind got no limits. It may be massively at times and normal at certain times, depending upon capacity of thinking, multiple thinking, communications, coordination, and whatever else. Essential requirement person would get demanded quantity as and when required. If someone can try, may try without any obstruction, provided some goal has been set. To be very frank, this is an energy funding done by universe for each and every person, provided person uses it, but hardly 1% may use it if required. I told 1% on higher counts, while it could be much lower. Soul can be so powerful. Soul can be so powerful at times that it may help. It may help other individuals by extending assistance to those who require such assistance for whatever acts to be done by support of soul power donator. There can be no defined units in that regard, but just continuous help. Just imagine about when you got immense power of soul and start feeling energetic all times and continue enjoying such energies. It shall certainly give person extreme pleasure, power of organization, and controls over all affairs at whatever location in mundane world. But problem arises when person uses such energies for destructive purpose. Because for such purposes, also power of soul can be used without any kind of incoming constraint from nature. Yes, destruction is a part of nature, but not by individuals or by those who are travelers on earth. Production of nuclear bombs and killing weapons do require such powers, but supreme power shall never be pleased with such bad use. Person shall have to respond to all such bad acts. Supreme power shall certainly act against such soul for extreme stern actions, because destruction of nature and humanity are not accepted by supreme power. Results and punishment may be awarded, say suspension of soul out of universe for many hundred years or such other harsh actions to punish. One should not forget that persons, one should not forget that persons cannot take any particle of whatever thing to permanent home. Only soul has to go back. It's essential that person who has obtained power of soul per requirement must respect it for optimum use, so that nature doesn't feel disappointed, because nature has permanently provided mind to everyone, and mind is only physical power that should involve person would use, that involved person would use. If one abuses such power of soul, one must be ready to face all consequences. I repeat this, one should not forget that person cannot take any particle of whatever thing or article to permanent home. Only soul has to go back. It is essential a person who has obtained power of soul per requirement must respect it for optimum use, so that nature does not feel disappointed, because nature has permanently provided mind to everyone, and mind is only physical power that should involve person with use. If one abuses this power of soul, one must be ready to face all consequences. I am really unable to limit size of my writing, for more and more ideas keep coming into my mind, and of course through my soul. I have not seen physically my soul, but I very much all times feel its presence, and many times in various forms. It interacts with me for my work. This is the only reason that I decided to share with all those interested intellectuals who do have required capacity to comprehend and even get into understanding about what soul means. In fact, I can understand that this is certain reality without being in defined form or physical presence. In fact, I can understand that this is certain reality without being in defined form or physical presence, yet it works very well within and without all and whatever limits. In my life, I was once attracted by tantrics for resolution of certain infield problems, but I could successfully repel out of that incursion due to my own soul strength. Reason being that these so-called self-appointed gods persons claim a law, which all are fake statements, but individuals are trapped successfully so that tantric business keeps flourishing. I could understand very late that no power in this world can defy one's soul, but one can be forced by these bad souls to be ill for some time, some being. For time being, these tantrics operated soul can damage good souls temporarily, but can never do good for performance. Never do good for performance. Was, but my inclination doesn't go to that subject. It's simply use of soul and enlarging its scope in individual's life. I've also experienced about people's about I just actually with today itself about people's or persons being concerned when I talk to individuals about soul operation within body, because person starts thinking that I may be tantric, which is not correct. So well, this is just I try to explain to you. Now why I'm saying मैं जो बता रहा हूँ आपको आत्मा के बारे में, मैं कोई नई बात नहीं बता रहा हूँ। ऐसी नई बात भी नहीं है कि आपको समझ नहीं आएगी। ये एक सामान्य सी बात है, लेकिन बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट, बहुत बहुत मैच्योरिटी की बात होनी चाहिए इसमें। और इसके अलावा मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ कि मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूँ। मैं जो कहना चाहता हूँ ये है, ये एक चित्र, एक डायग्राम जो तैयार किया गया, इसको हम कह रहे हैं जनरेशन मॉडल। जनरेशन मॉडल और साथ में दूसरा है, ये आपका है इन्फिनिटी अदर सोलर सिस्टम्स। ये जो मेन चीज है इसमें, आप इसको देखिए, मैं थोड़ा ब्लॉक कर सकता हूँ तो देखता हूँ, तो कर सकता हूँ तो ब्लॉक। हाँ, ये देखिए, आप इसको देखिए जरा। सोलर सिस्टम मैंने लिखा है इस पर, इलेक्ट्रॉन मैग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम। ये आपका इंडिविजुअल्स है, और ये सारे प्लैनेट चारों तरफ जो मैंने सर्कल किया है, एक्चुअली अलग अलग प्लैनेट है। ये देखिए सब प्लैनेट, दिस आर ऑल प्लैनेट्स, all these planets are here in this orb. They are doing orbits around sun, but I'm just writing here just for your information. This is here, you can say this is in smart pitch here. Now solar system is there, then you can suppose here is God, you may say this Trinity I've written here. These locations of God could be the, I'm not saying Trinity accept, but I'm just for purpose of explaining, आपको समझाने के लिए ये बता रहा हूँ, जिसको मैं कहता हूँ जीरो सर्कल। ये आप देख रहे हैं, ये सर्कल, ये वृत्त, this is a zero circle, and my countings when I talk to you about numbers, zero when I speak, zero when I refer to zero, when I say this is zero, in that case, this shall be important one, zero. And that is what I have to explain to you. This is zero here, which I'm just done, and this is more than 2 billion kilometer, maybe more. I'm just writing 2 billion, it can be more in fact, because you can say Jupiter itself is 70, 76 crore kilometer from Earth, 76 crore kilometer here and 76 kilometer here. So you may say approximately more than that it could be. It doesn't matter, इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता कितना है, लेकिन हम समझाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, just trying to explain to you what it is, and it is human model I have prepared, how these waves affect, means this God impact comes here, God files come here, and of course these are screened by this solar system, and sun is involved, and this is where I say, and this energy goes inside here into your body. That's most important, which I discuss with you. I'll refer to you later on. I'm just trying to show you what it is and this generation model here. Since I'm rotating my cursor of this position, and this is land. Land means it is a warm portion, and this is your genital organ here. You can see genital organ here, and here it reaches one portion, and I call it land field. You can say land field, and this is various powers here, outside and inside both. And you can say what is here, various points are written working at point 1, 2, and 3. Now, what it says that here, Devi, various Devi, or you can say energies are here, and it's written sustenance supplies, and this is soul power effect of dedication. And here is, you can say, you may say this is a connection here. This is men's inflow here, men's inflow, and there is a generation chamber, I can call it generation chamber, and it's written here. Now I'll just explain to you what is written here. There is a working model I have written. This is generation model. It is applies to women, and here is, it is I have written some theories. I because organ entry here it is, you can see add genital organ entry, tunnel entry, and here is matang. Various names are there. One name is there that is called Kalka, which is overall here. Another name is Gayatri, which is located on snips of women. And there's number 4. I'll explain to you later on. And one is here, you can say Durga at gate of this organ. Then there is Durga, you actually the Matangi. I'm sorry, this Chinnamasta, where you can say just around that surface there, here are available. And then the Baglamukhi at sides of gates, and then it's Matangi at circle of tunnel, and in tunnel it is Nagananandi. Inside you go, there you find where flow comes in, that's Bhavaneshwari. Flow blood comes in, on the other side is Mahalakshmi, and then there is another one, and the Sudasi, and outside in your curve of Atma flow or salt flow, there is Kali and Tara. This I explained to you. I just made a model so that you can understand geometrically how I want to say. I'll explain you all this later on, but I'm just trying to show you how does it mean. What I want to communicate is that is very important point. Communication is important. This is a generation chamber, and this is soul energy. I explained to you. It applies to both, and that's very important point. Now I'll go back to here, and that is here. You can say that is here. This is I'm not sure where this file be here. This file is a new Excel file. Excel file here. I'm not finding this coming in here in this modeling form. It should be here. Why is not seen here? I cannot see. Well, this file I'll show you. If you may not be able to see this file, no issue. I'll show you later on because I'm not finding here now. If I say come back to other file, I come back to this file. This file is seen here. This means that Excel file could not be located on this. No problem. Then I go back to this file now, and this file is here also, and you can see that here it is. And let me see. Let me just put in for a few seconds this file. This is number file. Maybe if you see it's fine, otherwise I'll show you it again. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm not finding it here on share list. Well, no problem. This file is used for an interpretation of numbers, and this is actually application file. ये application वो file है जिस टाइम जैसे ये देख रहे हैं आप डेट मंथ्स और वगैरह डालेंगे, और उसके बाद हमें यहाँ पर मिल जाएगा जो हम चाहते हैं रिजल्ट्स, और उसकी हम बात करेंगे। लेकिन उससे पहले आपको फिर दिखा दूँ ये फाइल जो मैं दिखाना चाहता हूँ आपको। ये फाइल दिखाना चाहता हूँ, और इसके पहले मैं आपको वो फाइल में दिखाना चाहता हूँ जो हमारे साथ है। ये इम्पोर्टेंट फाइल, ये जिसकी मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, पावर ऑफ सॉल्व, बहुत बड़ी पावर जिसको हमें यूज करना है। अगर हम इसको यूज नहीं करेंगे, अब मैं बता देना चाहता हूँ कि मैं कहना क्या चाहता था। बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है कि हम अपनी आत्मा की शक्ति को समझें, और हम समझेंगे तो बहुत कुछ पालेंगे, नहीं समझेंगे तो हम उसको यूज नहीं कर सकते। अपने आप जितनी यूज कर सकती है वो करेगी, और उसके इस बात कोई फायदा नहीं है। पावर ऑफ सॉल्व यूज करना इतना आसान नहीं है जितना हम समझ रहे हैं। इसको भी समझना होता है, और जो समझ जाते हैं वो ठीक रहते हैं। However, it's not coming here. Well, I don't know what to do with that. Well, there's some problem let me see, new share. What is new share? Let us see. New share. If I say this new share here, let me see what is new share here. I don't know whether it is going to work or not. Well, sometimes sharing is a problem. I could not learn it very well. That can be difficulty for me. So sketchology this year, generation model, I'm not getting that here. Still, I'm not getting. But I do experiment. I'll come back to you after some time because I know I have to explain a lot in this, and this file which I showed to you as a words file is very, very significant. If it's successful, I will back with you. I'm closing this as you may consider this a trial only. It's just like a trial, and I will back with you with this video again. Maybe I make another one for this, and I'm going to back there now. Stop share, and I'm coming back to you. Telling is what I talk to you is very significant one. It cannot be taken for granted. It has to be understood well. And I'll be back with you again. This is the half an hour. Let's see if it works well. I'll be back with you. Thank you. Okay.